Hi YouTube, I am Anjelica, and I have narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is not generally fatal or dangerous until you fall down and hurt yourself or fall asleep driving the car. One thing that people with narcolepsy have a hard time talking about are the hallucinations. It happens usually when you're falling asleep or you're waking up. When you're in that fine line between awakeness and asleep. Usually they happen when people are in that space between being asleep and being awake. You have a dream that's very vivid. And it usually involves a person or an animal or a monster or a thing. And that thing is there with you. So for me, the ones that are the most disturbing are... For me, the ones that are the most disturbing are the ones of people that have died. For example, I just woke up from what I call a nightmare, where I dreamed that I had gone to a pizza restaurant, and prior to me going to this restaurant, my uncle had called, and for whatever reason I didn't answer the phone, or I was asleep or something, and so when I got to this restaurant, I was surprised to see him, and he was there with a bunch of other elderly gentlemen. Okay, so at this point, regular dream, it's not bothering me. There's no emotional input. It's just a dream, like most people experience. But as I get close to him to say hello, he grabs my arm, and he says very vividly, "Oh, the pain I feel from losing her." And he's talking about my aunt who died many years prior. But what happens with narcolepsy that's different than a regular dream is that you actually feel that person grab your arm. You hear their voice, you smell them, you experience this emotional surge that is very real. And then you wake up, and that person's still there. They're still beside you. They're still holding onto your arm. And there's this feeling of dread, this feeling of pain, of realism, but yet you just can't move yet. You're still stuck. You still can't get out of bed. You still can't get this person to let go. And that's scary. That can be really scary. It's especially scary too, not when it's somebody that's died. It takes a while to shake them after you have these dreams. But when it's an intruder that you dream about. A lot of people with narcolepsy, they say that they hear intruders. Somebody broke into the house and they can't move. Or there's a fire alarm and the house is burning down, but they can't get out. So there's these things, maybe, a lot of them are probably anxiety related. And I know mine are, because coming out of this period of being a recluse with narcolepsy is kind of rough. I mean, it's kind of rough coming out of any experience that caused some trauma. And I've had quite a few experiences lately that have caused some PTSD. Which is why I'm here on camera talking to you guys about it, because I want to educate people I want you to know who I am and what I go through on a regular basis to help people understand narcolepsy and to help people understand me. I've been gone for the last couple of years because some people really close to me died or left for other reasons. And I got to a point where I couldn't function in the real world. I had to kind of escape as best I could and try to get by and heal myself until I was ready to come back to a reality, a place that's not safe. So, for everybody that's asking, where have you been, what's going on, now you know. I went through a horrible experience. And some people that were with me, including my uncle, went through some rough times and died. So when I woke up from this dream, I was crying because it was so real. It's a part of narcolepsy that is one of the most difficult, and I'm lucky that it's gotten a little better for me over time. There's some fear associated with having more of these. I almost want to go back into my shell and not talk to anybody and not do anything again, because this just scares the fuck out of me sometimes. But here I am, and I'm talking to you guys about it, and it makes me feel a little better. And it's me, Anjelica.